Christopher Buckley is putting aside political satire. His new book focuses on religious fiction. The Relic Master is a comic tale of rascal mercenaries from the 16th century. They cash in on what they claim are the bones and possessions of saints. The story begins with the obsession over the Shroud of Turin, seen by the Pope in June. Many believe it is the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. The publisher is Simon & Schuster, division of CBS. We're pleased to welcome Christopher back to Studio 57. Welcome.
Is this the famous Studio 57?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
You've been heard about it.
Where is the music?
We're ready for you to start your disco dancing.
You tell everybody.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
You told everybody you were coming to New York so you could go to Studio 57?
Yes.
I thought so.
No, I told them I was coming to New York to meet Charlie Rose.
There you go.
Whom I actually met in 1982.
Has it been that long?
At 2 a.m. It was your first show, your debut. I'd like the viewers
What were
to
you
know,
all doing?
I created Charlie Rose, and I can destroy him.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it was CBS all night.
Yes.
On between the prime time hours of 2 a.m.
Many
and
people
4
like your
a.m.
email address right now.
And did you guys go out after the 2 a.m. show?
No, he still had, an hour and a half.
I have to go,
film.
yes. That's
I
right.
said to my publicist, why am I going on TV at 2 a.m.? He said, well, you'd be surprised how many people watch TV at 2 a.m. I said, like who? He said, prison guards?
Prisoners.
So I'm big among prison guards. They follow my book.
So it seems to me you should be thanking Charlie Rose, Chris.
I do.
There you go.
I worship at the altar.
There you go.
Charlie is a living relic, and I esteem him.
Oh,
But
goodness.
It is good to be back here.
We're glad you're
so
here, Christopher
Studio
Buckley.
Yeah, why are
57.
you writing about this subject?
Why am I? Well,
sir.
I used to write political satire.
I know, we
Charlie,
like that.
I did that, and I think we reached the point this election cycle where American politics are sufficiently self-satirizing. I don't think they need me.
So what do you think about Mr. Trump's latest comments?
I wondered how long it was going to take you to ask that. Well, I think once again, Mr. Trump has proved that he is not really a serious man, a serious person. Serious people don't say things like that. And yet here he is at 30% or whatever. Mr. Trump is a demagogue, and demagogues tend to use up all the oxygen in the room. My late father, whom you knew, who was a famous debater, told me once, an old rule is never debate with an amateur. They'll kill you every time.
Yeah.
And I puzzled over that. He said, oh, there he is on the screen. Hey, Bob. Because, an amateur will shout and say anything. And it makes rational argument impossible.
But what's so interesting about you and Donald Trump is you wrote an essay, satire, back in 2000.
He wants to know what's
2000.
Me and Donald Trump.
No, but do you remember what you said back then?
Compared.
Because I think this
sentence.
is interesting. You predicted his inaugural address would be, my fellow Americans, this is a great day for me personally. You're very smart to have voted for me. You wrote that, Chris, back
I wrote
in 2000.
that for the Wall Street Journal in 2000.
What did you see back then that you thought?
15 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago. You read it there first, Charlie. Well, I think he must have been running for president then, because otherwise I can't imagine why I would have drafted his inaugural address. But if it comes to pass, I will be able to say you read it there first.
Yeah.
What do you think of your father's conservative movement today? I mean, what is the biggest challenge facing the Republican Party? And I know you voted for Obama in 08, but...
I did. My dad, he died in 2008, and he was asked some months before he died what he thought of the modern conservative movement. I think he may have been asked that by Charlie Rose. Aren't you on some other show?
Yes, he is.
You're on like 6 shows.
I did ask him that.
But his answer, Charlie may remember, because my dad used a very William F. Buckley word to answer it. He said that he thought the modern conservative movement was in need of repristination, which means sort of a cleaning.
Yes.
And I'm frequently asked today what he would make of where we are today, and my answer is, A, it's tricky channeling your father's ghost. Hamlet tried it, and that didn't work out so well. part of me wishes he were still here to comment on on what's going on. Another part of me thinks maybe it's just as well he's not here to have to
It'd be interesting to
see
hear his take on what's happening today.
happening. His take.
Yeah, that would be very
I think his
interesting to see.
take would be, his take was always interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you think the Republicans are going to do? You think that they are, after the most recent comments, somehow try to come together and stop Trump?
Well, since for about 5 months now, Mr. Trump has been making inflammatory, disgraceful comments. He maligned the war record of John McCain because he shot Dan. This was July, and everyone in the room I was
he's
reading,
over.
the newspaper said, "Oh, he's finished.
He's done, yeah.
This will do him in." Then he makes an insulting comment about Megyn Kelly, which I wouldn't even repeat on morning TV. And everyone thought, well, that's the end of Donald Trump. And all it does, every time he says something, it drives up his ratings.
Do you think he believes all this stuff?
Yes.
He does.
Yes. Yes,
All right.
I do.
Christopher Buckley, before you go, can I just say one thing about the Relic Master?
Thank you.
Yeah, just one thing, that you read
This
4 dozen books.
reasonably priced and attractively packaged book, which would make it a wonderful Christmas
But you
present.
read 4 dozen books. You read 4 dozen books to prepare for this. That's what I just think
did.
that's so interesting.
I did, because I take my cue from Charlie Rose,
go.
who
He's
from
very
always,
prepared.
I know that every time I've been on Charlie's show and to be interviewed about my book, Charlie has not only read that book, but gone back and reread all my
Oh,
others.
yes,
There you
that's
go.
exactly it. How did you know?
How did you know?
Because I know you.
All right, the true story of Charlie Rose coming next from Christopher Buckley.
Yeah.
But this time it's the Relic
Goodness,
Master.
we've teed it up for the
We've teed it up.
ladies, haven't we?
I see. I got your next book for you. All right,
There you
it
go.
goes on sale
At
today.
Chef Jeff's.
That's right. Yeah, he did Chef Jeff's.